Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, we're going to be doing a review on the brand new DIOR Backstage collection. I'm super excited to show you guys what I picked up. If you guys are new here, hello, my name is Jena Froese. Thanks so much for tuning in and checking out this video today. I post 3 beauty videos a week that are all about high-end and luxury beauty, so if you're just as into that as I am, I'm sure we'd get along great. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell next to it so you never miss a new video. And without further ado, let's get on to this collection. I have to show you the box that this all came in because I ordered all of this from the DIOR website because it's not yet available at Sephora, and I really wanted to get my hands on this stuff so I could show you guys what I thought of it. So this is the beautiful box that it came in. Isn't it so pretty? The first thing I picked up from this line is the Face and Body Foundation. The shade that I picked up is 2N. The next thing I picked up is the DIOR Backstage Eyeshadow Palette, and this one is in warm neutrals. I also picked up the DIOR Backstage Contour Palette as well as the DIOR Glow Face Palette. And the last thing I picked up is one of their lip glows from the Backstage line, and this is in shade 007 Raspberry. Because this is a whole collection video, I'm going to put some timestamps down in the description box if there's one particular thing that you want to know my thoughts on, so let's get into it. The first thing we'll chat about is the Face and Body Foundation. The outer packaging of this is super beautiful. It's very minimalistic, which I like, and it's definitely a soft plastic so you can easily squeeze the contents out, which is perfect. There are 40 shades of this guy, which is amazing. It is available at the DIOR website right now. It will be available at Sephora online on June 15th, and it retails for $40 American. DIOR says that this foundation is supposed to be ultra buildable. You can apply it with your hands and get a sheer coverage, or you can use a brush and get medium to full coverage. It's supposed to be very skin-like and natural looking, so I knew I had to put this to the test. When I was applying this to the skin, the first thing that I noticed was that it is definitely very buildable. I do love how it applies to the skin, very creamy and soft. I ended up priming the right side of my face with my Smashbox primer, and then I just left the left side completely natural, and honestly, I cannot see any difference between the two, even after wearing it for 8 hours. I'm very, very excited to have this in my collection. The only complaint I have of this is that it oxidizes just a touch. It's not super bad where it's going to push you into the next shade, but it's definitely something you have to keep in mind. It's very easy to build, just like they say. It covered my redness and my pimples very, very well. It just makes my skin look and feel super healthy, so this one is definitely a winner, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this in my collection for sure. The next thing we'll talk about is the contour palette. The outer packaging of this one is very minimalistic as well. It's got silver reflective packaging along the frame here. The first row is highlighters. The first one on the left here is light. The second one is deep. Then we have the 2 contour shades, one for light and one for deep. Just like the rest of this collection, it is available right now at the DIOR website, and it retails for $45 American. DIOR claims that this contour palette is supposed to be highly pigmented, very luminous on the skin, and easily buildable, which I think is kind of the vibe of the whole collection, just being very buildable and variable depending on what you like. As I was applying this to the skin, what I found was that these highlighters are incredibly subtle. They're not going to be a as seen from space type of look. They're very, very subtle, and they give you that sheen that's just very gentle on the skin. You do have to put on quite a few layers to actually get it to show up, so I do think with a pan this small, you're going to go through this incredibly quickly. Now onto the contour shades. There's one for light and one for deep, and honestly, none of these serve my purposes as a contour. The light is simply too light, and the deep is way too deep. The contour shades for me are a little bit too specific in my opinion. You need to have the perfect skin tone for one or the other to work for you. I do wish they had contour shades instead that were sold as singles so that you could better match your shade to what your skin tone was. So because of the fact that neither of these contours work and the highlights in the top are just a little bit too subtle for my taste, this one is unfortunately going to go back. The next thing we'll talk about is the DIOR Backstage Glow Face Palette. The outer packaging of this one is very similar to the contour palette, so you can tell it's in the same collection. The first row are the highlights. One is a white highlight, the second is a golden highlight. The bottom row are your blushes. The first one is a pink and the second one is a bronze. This one is also available at the DIOR website right now, and it does retail for $45 American. As you can see, mine is broken in in 2 spots, and that's in the white highlight and in the pink blush, and that's just from the post, so that really sucks. But anyways, they're still usable, so I was able to still review them for you guys. Both of these powders are incredibly luminous. You do have to be careful when you apply them because it's definitely possible to overdo it and get a streak on your face. These powders as well will emphasize any texture, so just keep that in mind. Now let's talk about the blushes. First of all, the pink blush is very gorgeous. I love that it's very luminous as well, but again, you have to be very careful because the luminosity of this product is quite powerful. So go light and then build up to what you would like, because you will be surprised how glowy it gets really, really quickly. As I was applying this blush, what I wanted was more of the pink pigment to show up, but what I found was that it was just getting more and more glowy and more luminous. So the luminosity of this blush definitely trumps the color pigment, so just keep that in mind. The bronze blush in here is a little bit too dark for my skin tone, but if you were a medium to deep skin tone, I think you could honestly get away with either blush and they would look beautiful. Despite all the positives of this palette, guys, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to return it. Firstly, because it was damaged in the mail, so this is definitely going to go back for that reason. Secondly, I actually really like my single pan Dior Nude Air highlights a lot better than these ones, and the fact that the only blush I can use is this one, and it's quite luminous, and I have other blushes that I think work a little bit better for me, but I don't hate this product whatsoever, guys. If you think this will serve your purposes, I don't think you'll be disappointed in it. Next, let's talk about the Backstage eyeshadow palette. The one that I picked up is in warm neutrals, and as you can see, very similar packaging to the rest of it. What is very interesting about this one is there's actually an eye primer in the top left corner, so that is really cool. There are 3 shimmers, 3 mattes, 1 ombre sculpting powder, which is kind of cool, and 1 gold highlighter. This palette also is available at the Dior site right now, and it does retail for 49 American dollars. In this Backstage line, Dior came out with 2 palettes. The first one is the warm neutrals, the second one is the cool neutrals. As I was applying these to the eyes, the first product I used is the primer, and I actually primed my right eye with this primer and my left one with my very standard Smashbox primer, and I just wanted to see how they would compare. This primer is definitely nice at canceling out any blueness or any hues to the eye that you want to cover up, but it does need to be set for sure because it will crease on you if you don't. It looks like the Smashbox primer is maybe a touch better than the primer in the Dior. So honestly, I think you can use this primer in this palette here in a pinch for sure, but it's not going to be like the best primer you've ever used, but it's definitely pretty good. The shadows in here, guys, are super gorgeous. They're very blendable. They're very pigmented as well, but they're not going to fall all over your face. Definitely very easy to use. I think these are amazing for beginners as well because you really can't mess this up. It's just absolutely amazing. The last thing I'll quickly mention is this lip glow, guys. These are available as well through the Backstage line. There's a couple more shades and it does retail for 34 American dollars. These give you quite a bit of tint. They're very easy to wear as well. They're not sticky at all. They're definitely more balmy, not glossy, so just keep that in mind. I have been enjoying this product as well, and I will be keeping it in my collection. I do think there are a lot of shades in here, but there are quite a few lighter ones. So for me, I gravitated towards the raspberry because I think it would give me enough pigment to make it worth my while. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on some of the new Dior Backstage collection products. There is a brow palette as well as a lip palette that I did not get, so if you're interested in that, definitely check out their website for those. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, as well as don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And until my next one, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!